Some countries are easy to describe. Switzerland has the Alps. Egypt has the pyramids. Japan has Tokyo. Argentina is different. Trying to explain Argentina is like trying to describe several countries at once. One moment you're standing beneath glaciers that have existed for thousands of years. A day later you're walking through streets that feel more like Paris than South America. Drive further north, and you'll find subtropical jungles roaring with waterfalls taller than skyscrapers. Head west, and vineyards stretch towards snow-covered mountains. Travel south, and eventually, the road simply runs out. Few countries on Earth offer such astonishing variety. Yet when most people think of Argentina, only two things usually come to mind: football and steak. While both are certainly part of Argentine life, they barely scratch the surface. Because behind the famous football stadiums and smoky barbecue grills lies one of the world's most fascinating places to live. A country where European influence meets Latin American passion. Where cafes stay busy long after midnight. Where family lunches can last half the afternoon. And where the landscape changes so dramatically that it sometimes feels like traveling across continents rather than provinces. Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world. Stretching almost 3,700 kilometers from north to south, it covers deserts, mountains, forests, grasslands, glaciers, and coastlines. That enormous size means daily life looks very different depending on where you live. Someone growing grapes beneath the Andes experiences a completely different Argentina from a fisherman working along the Atlantic coast. A family living in bustling Buenos Aires shares little in common with sheep farmers deep in Patagonia. Yet despite these differences, there is something unmistakably Argentine that connects them all. Most journeys begin in Buenos Aires, home to more than 15 million people across its metropolitan area. It is one of South America's great cities. At first glance, many visitors struggle to believe they are even in Latin America. Elegant boulevards, grand theaters, French-inspired apartment buildings, historic cafes, tree-lined avenues. Some neighborhoods could easily be mistaken for parts of Madrid or Paris. The city's European appearance reflects the millions of immigrants who arrived here during the 19th and 20th centuries. Families from Italy, Spain, Germany, France, Eastern Europe, and many other parts of the world helped shape the Argentina we know today. Their influence can still be seen everywhere. In the architecture, the food, the surnames, even the way many Argentines gesture while speaking. Walk through neighborhoods like San Telmo or Palermo, and everyday life unfolds at its own distinctive rhythm. Small bakeries fill the morning air with the smell of fresh pastries. Street cafes spill onto pavements. Office workers stop for coffee before work. Market stalls display colorful fruit, vegetables, and flowers. Bookshops remain surprisingly busy. Musicians perform in public squares. Unlike many major cities where everyone seems to rush from one place to another, Buenos Aires often encourages people to slow down. Conversation matters. Lunch is rarely rushed. Evening meals begin much later than visitors expect. Restaurants may only start filling after 9 o'clock at night. For Argentines, spending time together often matters just as much as the meal itself. Yet Buenos Aires represents only one face of the country. Travel west towards Mendoza, and the landscape changes completely. Rows of vineyards stretch towards the towering Andes Mountains. This region produces some of the world's finest Malbec wines. But even if you know nothing about wine, the scenery alone is unforgettable. Snow-covered peaks dominate the horizon, while neat rows of grapevines cover the valley floor. Many families here have worked the same vineyards for generations. Harvest season transforms entire communities. Neighbors help one another. Festivals celebrate the year's crop. Markets overflow with local produce. The connection between people and the land feels incredibly strong. Further south lies Patagonia, perhaps Argentina's most legendary region. Patagonia is difficult to describe because photographs rarely capture its true scale. Mountains rise dramatically above turquoise lakes. Ancient glaciers slowly move through deep valleys. Wild guanacos graze across endless plains. Condors circle high above rocky cliffs. Roads stretch for kilometers without another vehicle in sight. Small towns appear almost like islands surrounded by wilderness. Life here demands resilience. The weather changes quickly. Winters can be harsh. Distances between communities are enormous. Yet many people choose Patagonia precisely because of that isolation. There is a sense of freedom difficult to find elsewhere. Nature always feels close. The same could be said for northern Argentina. Near the borders with Brazil and Paraguay, dense subtropical rainforest replaces snow and ice. Here, one of the world's greatest natural wonders crashes through the jungle. Iguazu Falls. More than 250 waterfalls thunder across a vast cliff system surrounded by lush green forest. Mist rises high into the air. Rainbows appear almost constantly in the sunlight. The sound can be heard long before the falls come into view. For many visitors, it becomes one of the most unforgettable sights they will ever experience. The surrounding rainforest is equally remarkable. Colorful toucans fly overhead. Coatis wander along forest paths. Butterflies drift through humid air. It feels like a completely different country from the glaciers of Patagonia. That contrast exists throughout Argentina. The Northwest introduces yet another landscape. Here, colorful mountains painted in shades of red, orange, purple, and green surround ancient villages that have existed for centuries. Markets fill with handmade textiles. Traditional music echoes through narrow streets. Indigenous traditions remain deeply woven into daily life. The country seems to reinvent itself every few hundred kilometers. Perhaps nowhere is this diversity more obvious than in Argentina's food. Around lunchtime, restaurants begin preparing one of the country's greatest traditions, the asado. To call it a barbecue would be an understatement. An asado is as much about gathering as eating. Families, friends, neighbors, hours spent around a grill, conversations drifting long into the afternoon. Steaks, sausages, ribs, vegetables, fresh bread, everything cooked slowly over glowing charcoal. There is no rush. Good food deserves good company. Another daily ritual revolves around something much simpler. Mate, a herbal drink shared from a single cup using a metal straw. You will see it everywhere. Students carrying thermos flasks through university campuses. Construction workers taking a break. Families relaxing in parks. Friends chatting on benches. Passing the mate from person to person symbolizes trust, friendship, and hospitality. It is less about the drink itself than the conversation it creates. For many Argentines, it is impossible to imagine daily life without it. And perhaps that captures Argentina better than anything else. This is not simply a country of breathtaking landscapes. It is a country built around people, around conversation, around family, around sharing experiences. The scenery may first capture your attention, but it is the rhythm of everyday life that usually stays with you long after you've left. In Argentina, daily life rarely moves according to the clock alone. It moves according to people. A workday may begin early, but lunch can stretch longer than expected. A quick coffee can turn into an hour of conversation. A family meal can continue until late afternoon. and a night out may not properly begin until most people elsewhere are already thinking about bed. This rhythm is especially noticeable in the way Argentines organize their relationships. Family remains one of the strongest forces in society. Even adults who move away from home often maintain close contact with parents, grandparents, siblings, and cousins. Sunday lunch is still important in many households. Tables fill with food. Children move between rooms. Several conversations happen at once. Someone tells the same story they told last week. Nobody seems to mind. These gatherings are not always formal. Sometimes they revolve around pasta. Sometimes empanadas. Sometimes an asado in the garden or on a balcony. The food changes. The importance of being together does not. Many families trace their roots to immigration. Italian and Spanish influence remains especially strong, but Argentina also became home to communities from the Middle East, Eastern Europe, Germany, Britain, Japan, and elsewhere. That history shaped everything from surnames to architecture. It also created a country with strong regional identities. In Buenos Aires, people may identify deeply with their neighborhood. In the Northwest, traditions are influenced by indigenous and Andean culture. In Patagonia, distance and climate create a different sense of community. Across the country, identity often feels both national and intensely local. Education is taken seriously. Argentina has a long tradition of public education and a strong university culture. Children generally begin school early, and many wear uniforms or school smocks depending on the institution. Public schools remain central to communities, although quality and resources can vary greatly between urban and rural areas. In large cities, students may attend schools with laboratories, libraries, and extracurricular programs. In remote regions, some children travel long distances or attend small schools, serving several age groups. Universities play an especially important role in Argentine life. The University of Buenos Aires is internationally known and has produced generations of professionals, researchers, writers, and political leaders. Public university education has historically given many students access to degrees without the same costs found in some other countries. For families, seeing a child become the first doctor, lawyer, engineer, or teacher in the household can represent years of sacrifice. That ambition is visible in cafes and libraries across the country. Students read through thick textbooks. Friends revise together. Young people balance part-time jobs with lectures. Education is not always easy, but it remains closely linked to social mobility and personal pride. Work varies enormously across Argentina. Buenos Aires is dominated by finance, public administration, technology, media, retail, and professional services. Córdoba has major industrial and educational sectors. Rosario is an important agricultural and transport center. Mendoza depends heavily on wine, tourism, and farming. In Patagonia, oil, gas, fishing, tourism, and sheep farming shape regional economies. Further north, agriculture and food production remain central. This diversity means there is no single Argentine working life. A software developer in Buenos Aires may spend the day in a modern office or working remotely from an apartment. A vineyard worker in Mendoza begins before the heat becomes intense. A fisherman along the Atlantic coast follows tides and weather. A shopkeeper in a small town may know every customer by name. Yet one thing links many of these jobs: adaptability. Argentines have become highly skilled at adjusting to uncertainty. Economic instability has affected daily life for generations. Prices change. Budgets are revised. Families postpone purchases. Businesses find new ways to survive. People compare exchange rates, protect savings, and plan carefully. This is not simply a financial habit. It has become part of everyday awareness. Even casual conversations may turn towards prices, wages, or the economy. But Argentines are equally known for continuing to live fully despite uncertainty. Restaurants remain busy. Football stadiums fill. Families celebrate birthdays and weddings. People travel when they can. There is a determination not to let difficult conditions erase the pleasures of life. That attitude can be seen in small businesses. Argentina has a strong culture of entrepreneurship. Independent cafes, clothing shops, bakeries, design studios, technology startups, family-run restaurants, artisan markets. Many businesses begin with limited resources and grow through personal networks. Social media has also created new opportunities. Young Argentines sell products online, provide remote services, and work with clients abroad. Technology has become especially important for people looking beyond local job markets. English skills, coding, design, and digital marketing can connect workers to international companies. This has created a generation that may live in Argentina while earning income from elsewhere. At the same time, traditional occupations remain deeply respected. The Gaucho is one of Argentina's most famous cultural figures. Often compared with the North American cowboy, Gauchos became symbols of independence, rural skill, and life on the open plains. Today, their world has changed. Modern machinery and large-scale agriculture now dominate much of the countryside. But Gaucho traditions survive through horse riding, cattle work, festivals, music, and clothing. In rural communities, horsemanship is still part of daily life. Young riders learn skills passed down through families. Local festivals bring together horses, folk music, dancing, and food. These are not performances created only for tourists. They are expressions of regional identity. Religion also plays a role in Argentine culture, although society is diverse and increasingly secular in many urban areas. Catholic traditions remain visible in festivals, churches, and family ceremonies. Different faith communities also contribute to national life. Buenos Aires, in particular, has long been home to significant Jewish and Muslim communities. This mixture reflects Argentina's broader history of migration. Music reveals another side of the country. Tango is the most internationally famous style. Born in the working-class neighborhoods of Buenos Aires and Montevideo, it developed from a blend of immigrant, African, and local influences. Today, tango remains part of Argentina's identity, but it is not the only sound. Folk music changes by region. The Northwest is known for styles such as chacarera and samba. Córdoba became famous for cuarteto. Rock music has an enormous following. Cumbia fills parties and clubs. Modern trap and urban music attract younger audiences. Argentina's cultural life has never stood still. The same is true of football. In many countries, football is popular. In Argentina, it can feel like a second language. Children play in streets, parks, and dusty fields. Fans inherit loyalties from parents. Entire neighborhoods identify with local clubs. The rivalry between Boca Juniors and River Plate is famous worldwide, but every region has its own teams and traditions. On match days, streets become quieter while homes, cafes, and bars fill with supporters. Victory can transform the mood of a city. Defeat can silence it. Football is entertainment, identity, memory, and argument all at once. Yet daily life is not only shaped by major passions. It is also shaped by small rituals. Stopping at a bakery for media lunas, sharing mate in a park, buying fresh pasta for Sunday lunch, sitting outside a cafe even when there is nowhere urgent to be, walking through a neighborhood plaza in the evening. These moments create the texture of Argentine life. They reveal a culture that values expression. People speak with their hands. Debates become animated. Politics can appear in almost any conversation. Opinions are rarely hidden. To outsiders, this energy may seem intense. To Argentines, it simply means people care. Care about family. Care about football. Care about food. Care about the country, even when they criticize it constantly. That mixture of pride and frustration is deeply Argentine. People may complain about inflation, traffic, politics, or bureaucracy. Then, in the next breath, they will describe why their city has the best food, why their football club matters more than anyone else's, or why no other country understands friendship in quite the same way. Argentina can be difficult, but for millions of people, it is also impossible to imagine belonging anywhere else. And in the final part, we move beyond the rhythms of daily life to explore the forces shaping Argentina's future. Its natural resources, its global influence, its economic challenges, its technology, agriculture, tourism, and the question that has followed the country for generations. How can a nation with so much potential finally turn that promise into lasting stability? Argentina is a country that has puzzled economists for decades. On paper, it has almost everything. Some of the world's most fertile farmland, huge reserves of oil and natural gas, abundant fresh water, lithium, one of the world's most valuable minerals for electric vehicle batteries, a highly educated population, a strong scientific community, world-renowned agriculture, an internationally recognized wine industry, breathtaking natural beauty. Yet despite these advantages, Argentina has spent much of the past century struggling with economic instability. It is one of the country's greatest contradictions. How can a nation with so much potential continue facing the same challenges generation after generation? The answer is complicated. Periods of rapid growth have often been followed by inflation, debt crises, political disagreements, and economic uncertainty. For ordinary Argentines, these issues are not abstract news headlines. They shape everyday decisions. Families compare supermarket prices carefully. Businesses adjust prices frequently. Young adults think carefully before making major purchases. Saving money often requires creativity. Many people keep a close eye on exchange rates. Others invest in property, foreign currencies, or businesses rather than leaving savings untouched. Yet what surprises many visitors is how ordinary life continues despite these difficulties. Restaurants remain full. Theaters continue performing. Markets stay busy. People still celebrate birthdays, weddings, and national holidays with enthusiasm. There is a remarkable ability to adapt. Perhaps because Argentines have experienced economic ups and downs so many times, resilience has become part of the national character. That resilience is especially visible in agriculture. Argentina feeds millions of people beyond its own borders. The vast pampas, stretching across the center of the country, are among the most productive farming regions on Earth. Fields of soybeans extend towards the horizon. Corn and wheat grow across enormous areas. Cattle graze on rich grasslands that have supported ranching for centuries. Argentina remains one of the world's largest exporters of beef. Its reputation for high-quality meat is recognized almost everywhere. For many rural communities, farming is far more than an industry. It is a way of life passed down through generations. Technology is gradually transforming these traditions. Modern tractors use satellite guidance. Drones monitor crops. Farmers analyze weather forecasts, soil conditions, and market prices using mobile phones. Agriculture may be rooted in history, but it increasingly depends upon innovation. Energy is another area attracting global attention. Deep beneath Patagonia lies Vaca Muerta, one of the world's largest shale oil and gas reserves. Developing these resources could reshape Argentina's economy for decades. At the same time, the country is investing in renewable energy. Patagonia's powerful winds make it one of the best places in South America for wind farms. The Northwest receives abundant sunshine, creating excellent conditions for solar power. As global demand for cleaner energy grows, Argentina hopes to become an increasingly important supplier. Mining is also expanding. Northern Argentina forms part of the so-called lithium triangle, shared with Chile and Bolivia. Lithium has become one of the most sought-after minerals in the world because of its importance in rechargeable batteries, electric cars, mobile phones, renewable energy storage. All depend on materials found beneath these high-altitude salt flats. Managing this resource responsibly could become one of Argentina's biggest opportunities. Tourism continues playing a major role as well. Each region offers something entirely different. In Patagonia, visitors hike beneath towering granite peaks and watch glaciers calve into icy lakes. In Mendoza, vineyards welcome guests for tastings beneath the Andes. The Northwest offers colorful mountains, colonial towns, and ancient indigenous traditions. Buenos Aires attracts lovers of architecture, food, theater, and nightlife. Iguazu Falls remain one of the greatest natural attractions anywhere on Earth. Some visitors arrive for football, others for wine, others for wildlife. Many leave wishing they had allowed far more time. One of Argentina's greatest strengths is precisely this diversity. Few countries can offer glaciers, deserts, rainforests, mountains, beaches, and some of the world's finest cities within one national border. Scientific achievement is another source of pride. Argentina has produced Nobel Prize winners, leading medical researchers and internationally respected scientists. Its universities continue contributing to research in medicine, agriculture, engineering, and space technology. The country's satellite program may surprise people who know little about Argentina beyond football. Argentine-designed satellites orbit the Earth, supporting communications, environmental monitoring, and scientific research. Innovation continues despite financial constraints. Perhaps nowhere is Argentina changing more rapidly than among its younger generation. Technology companies continue growing. Remote work allows professionals to earn income from international clients. Creative industries produce films, music, fashion, and digital media recognized far beyond South America. Young entrepreneurs increasingly build businesses online, connecting Argentina to global markets. Like every country, Argentina also faces important questions. How can it create more stable economic conditions? How can talented young people be encouraged to stay rather than seek opportunities abroad? How can development continue while protecting extraordinary natural environments? These challenges remain unresolved. But optimism persists, because Argentines have always believed in possibility. Perhaps that belief explains why the country continues inspiring such strong emotions. Visitors rarely leave feeling indifferent. Some fall in love with the cafes of Buenos Aires, others with the silence of Patagonia. Some remember family barbecues, others the thunder of Iguazu Falls. Many simply remember the people. Open, expressive, passionate, always ready to begin another conversation. As evening falls across Buenos Aires, cafe terraces slowly fill. Friends arrive carrying flasks of mate. Musicians prepare for another night's performance. Families gather around dinner tables that will remain busy for hours. Thousands of kilometers away, shepherds in Patagonia watch the final sunlight disappear behind snow-covered mountains. In Mendoza, vineyard workers finish another day beneath the Andes. In the north, warm jungle air surrounds the roaring waters of Iguazu. Across this enormous country, millions of lives unfold in completely different ways. Yet together, they create something uniquely Argentine, a nation of extraordinary landscapes. endless conversation, powerful traditions, remarkable resilience, and endless possibility. Argentina has often been called the land of extremes because of its geography. But perhaps its greatest extremes are found in its people. A country capable of deep frustration, deep pride, and unwavering hope, even after every setback. That hope remains. Because if Argentina has proven one thing throughout its history, it is this: no matter how difficult the journey becomes, it never stops believing that a better chapter is still waiting to be written.